You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. Exactly. Rewind.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Alice Monroe with your August update. August police are appealing for information following the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw's body was discovered last night. Chief DuPont is calling the crime a violent and despicable act. Anyone with information about the murder is urged to get in touch via the department's confidential tip hotline. It's horrible, Poe.
Indeed it is.
You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. You know why you're here, don't you? The dead girl. And this. What exactly were you thinking? You have one job. Don't get caught. Do you think you can do that this time? It's a rhetorical question. You're going to a town called August. Find Chief DuPont. He's gonna think you're someone else. This person. This is who you are now. Understood? Splendid. If someone so much as sniffs that you're different, you'll be deprecated.
Deprecated.
We expect you to use your ability. Just don't get caught. And never, ever change into a child.
In brighter news, August resident Mia French is celebrating the return of her missing pooch, Barley. The 8-month-old Basset Hound puppy was found outside Daryl's Chicken and Ribs.
And that's 5 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
I'm Violet. Welcome to the guest house. There are some rules. In particular, no shoes in the guest house. The carpet's priceless. Now, how long are you staying for? Yes, the chief said it may be a while. I can see you don't mind getting your hands dirty, though. There's not been many visitors of late. Perhaps the murder will bring some tourists in. It's just you and some tarot readers at the moment. It's deathly quiet. Yes, the murder. You haven't spoken to the chief yet, have you? Chief Dupont. He's the one who booked the room for you. You look lost. You should probably go and speak to the chief. Your room is just down the hall, last on the left. It has its own back door. The chief said that's the way you'd like it.
Just finishing. You don't believe? That sounded serious. You must have a serious job to do. Hi, I'm Bronwyn. Pleased to meet you, Sam. If you'd like a reading. So, what's your question, Sam? The Fool. I'm going to see a lot more of you, aren't I, Sam? Well, enjoy the journey. But remember, not everything is winnable. I'm in room 1 and that's down the hall. Lorraine's in 2, Lexi's in 3. And which room are you in, Sam? Good. We're neighbours. Just knock if you need me.
The girl sighs and turns her attention to Lung. Did you murder her? Lung squirms a little. Cough, cough, cough. A lot of people wanted Zoe dead. I did them a favor, and I got a meeting with you. The girl draws her robes tightly, steps off the dais, and moves slowly towards Lung. And what did you want exactly? Lung steps backwards and... I don't want to die. You said you could grant me eternal life. The girl snarls at him. I did. Pulls behind him and in his mouth. You're mine now, the girl says, and reaches her hand into his chest.
Good, you got my message. Chief Inspector Dupont. I wasn't sure you'd come, but I suppose you're between jobs? Well, we both know that's not true. But I like it. Sam, that's your cover now. So, the job. Dorota Shaw, 21, accomplished cellist, redhead. Strangled. I know who did it, but I need proof. It's the tarot readers. Yes. Keep up, Sam. That's the girl who was murdered. Because they predicted it. The older one, Bronwyn, she came into my office last night talking all crazy and saying Dorota was in trouble. I did my best not to lock her up. It all sounded crazy to me. Tarot, the spirit world, cards that move, trans-dimensional thingamajigs. To be honest, I thought she'd probably been smoking something, and that's why I didn't take it seriously. Because things, I don't have enough on her. That's where you come in. The free guest house stay isn't free. I need you to work the case and report back to me. Find out things from the inside. Can you do it? Okay. I'll be telling everyone that you've been hired by the Shaws because obviously local law enforcement is either too incompetent or too overworked to solve anything. That gives you a license to talk to people, but only notionally. Don't actually touch people or annoy them. You don't have any real authority, understand? But you help me out, I'll help you. Do I have have to spell it out? I'll make your problem go away, or at least sink it to the bottom of a pile of paperwork. Your old town? The problem? Come and find me when you're settled. This is Second Chance Sunday for you, Sam. Don't blow it. What do you want to know? She was a cellist, selected for a scholarship at Juilliard. It was in the local paper. I'm more of a Bon Jovi fan myself. Don't read the paper, do you? Yesterday, Monday the 9th at approximately 9 p.m, according to the coroner, we got a call from the mother just after 10 p.m. In her bedroom, she was naked, strangled. No signs of sexual activity of any kind. It was a weird scene to look at. There was one thing, but it's strictly between you and me. Dorota had a gold coin in her mouth. I'm being serious now, Sam. Not a word of this. It's the one thing only the killer would know. Born here, runs the local guest house. Lovely lady. Where are you going with this, Sam? What's she told you? She told you she's taking pills, didn't she? Let me handle Violet. She didn't kill anyone. Not much. Perhaps you should do some investigating? Do I have an alibi for last night? Do I? Okay. I was here, and there are video monitors that will prove it. Thanks for ruling me out, genius.
Now, for me personally, I believe that every relationship that you have with someone should be equal, and you should be loved for who you are. And maybe that is something that perhaps Gabby...
You must be a new guest, or you're burglaring us. I'm Rain, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Sam. Enjoy your stay. The hot water goes off at 9, by the way, so it's cold showers from there on in. It really bugs me. I didn't know her. I know she was called Dorota Shaw. She was young, had red hair, a talented musician. Next victim? Whoa! Hold on a sec, we don't even know if there's going to be a next victim or not. We'll do another group reading soon, and then we'll have a better idea. We did a reading. A group reading, actually, with a special tarot deck. You get it piecemeal, not everything in one reading. The last one we did showed a young woman being murdered. Young, talented, probably red-headed. Mercury, it's not exactly from here. With a normal tarot deck, you'd have the question, so you'd be the querent. With Mercury, it gives you the question and the answer. The cards themselves kind of change. It's a special deck. I don't have it at the moment. Bronwyn has it. I was in my room. Praying, actually. I don't believe in God, but I was still praying. It didn't work. I don't believe in anything, but I also believe anything is possible, so it's a conundrum.
She had already been here once. It was just a matter of time until...
Hi, Sam, is it? Come on in, make yourself at home. Mi casa es su casa. Come on. I don't know anyone in this town, except for Bronwyn and Rain, obviously, and Violet, and the Chief, and now you. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Good old-fashioned fortune-telling. Well, kind of. We drew a card each and smushed them all together. Do you know what the most dangerous tarot card is? You've done your research. The happy squirrel was vague and mysterious, but not evil. The Five of Swords. I think so anyway. There's nothing more dangerous than someone taking whatever they want no matter the cost. Yeah, I did. Rain got the Knight of Wands, that's Dorota, and Bronwyn got the Ten of Swords, which is, well, you know, swords in general are bad. She's like my big sister, so pretty well. No. The cards told us to. Well, the cards of Rain. Tarot gives us a rough direction and he narrows it down with some astrological jiggery-pokery. He's basically a walking esoteric library. And if that sounds dull, let me reassure you, it is. No? Well, yeah. Well, no. We have a job to do. I didn't say job. I said job. Okay. We make a cheese obelisk, a chob, and depending on the shape of that chob, we get different answers to questions. No, you don't. I was in my room all night with Bronwyn. We were painting our nails. No, I mean, yeah, I've already cleaned it off.
A loud and indignant meow was an order. This could only mean one thing.
Sam, is it? I'm sensing you're not here for a reading. Chief Dupont thinks I did it. I'm hoping you'll convince him otherwise. All I'm asking is that you dig a little deeper than the Chief. I had nothing to do with Dorota's death. We saw danger in the cards and we tried to stop it. Trust me, Sam, we're on the same team. We saw it in the cards, not images, feelings, impressions. Tarot can be very powerful. Not these cards. They only tell us what they want us to know. In my room reading, I found a trashy romance novel under the bed. I'm assuming it's Violet's. It's all swooning heroines and brooding vampire Casanovas. Thank God Lexi saved me. She came to my room to chat for a little while. That was around 9, I think. You can ask her. I said the book was trashy. Look at this place. If her guest house is anything to go by, Violet's the opposite of trashy. Mercury? Sure. I'll just get it. It feels a bit sacrilegious just spreading it out to show you. It doesn't really answer questions, it more asks them. Do you want it to ask you a question, Sam? It wants to know if you're happy being the person you are now. Mercury doesn't agree. In fact, if anything, and I could be wrong, it's suggesting that you're not even the person you're saying you are now. I've only had that reading once before.
Suffering. Ivan clinched the towel, then...
I assume you've been to see Chief Dupont already? Not really. I'm sure she was a precious lamb, though. Yes, a lamb. Young. Innocent. Lambs get slaughtered, though, don't they? Nice, yes, that's a good description. Actually, I thought she was a bit slutty, to be honest. Sorry. I'm gossiping. I don't want to talk ill of the dead. Ask her boyfriend. Oscar lives at the vicarage next to the church. Don't tell him I sent you, though. I'm sure he's sick of seeing people already. They're tarot readers. I'm thinking of asking them to leave, actually. Because they may have killed someone. It's not great for my reputation, is it? Stay at Violet's, the home of killers and hobos. I'm sorry, it's a derogatory word, isn't it? But strange people seem to gravitate towards this guest house, Sam. I think I'll get the sign changed. It's the strangest thing. I honestly don't remember. But I imagine I was here or getting groceries somewhere. No, and I didn't murder her, if that's what you're asking. I take clozapine. I think they're for anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I don't know, Dr. Sam, you tell me.
His voice sounded shakier than usual. Didn't I mention it? She started pulling at the fur. She hadn't mentioned it. Ivan would have remembered. He lay down and closed his eyes, listening to her tearing the kitten's skin. "Thanks, babe," she said, between chews. "No worries," said Ivan. "Anything for you."
Find somewhere safe to transition. You're not a superhero.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Lexi.
And the family. So I think there is perhaps Robin has a.
What's up, Lexi? I'm sensing something's on your mind.
I'm worried about our alibi.
Don't worry about that. We don't have anything to hide. I'm more worried about Violet. I didn't see her last night, did you?
You think she's the murderer?
I'm not sure I'd go that far, but it's definitely suspicious.
Well, Poe, if I'm honest, you are quite right, that the situation is related to...
Something's weird, isn't it? Ron seems strange today.
How are you?
Do you think Bronwyn might get falsely imprisoned? It happens all the time.
Are you looking to take over?
No. I'm just worried.
Taking from this, Robin, I think you're finding it hard to break away from a painful situation.
Hello, Lexi. What can I do for you?
Please don't ask us to leave. The police...
Well, I don't have one. I literally can't remember what I was doing.
Please don't ask us to leave. Bronwyn says you're suspicious.
Bronwyn says I'm suspicious. Incredible. She's suspicious, turning up and saying someone will die, and then they die.
Please don't ask us to leave.
Have you been speaking to Sam? You're safe for the minute.
That sounds ominous.
If one of your crew did murder Dorota, you can't really stay here, can you?
Oh, and Monroe.
Dimitri's Descent by Chris Hoppenbrauers.
Hello, I'm Rain. I'm Rain. Okay.
volunteered for a top-secret project at an undisclosed location. When he had first...
Rain, I'm so worried about Bronwyn. What are we going to do?
Why are you worried about Bronwyn?
The chief thinks she killed Dorota.
Maybe she did kill Dorota.
That's not even funny, Rain. Bronwyn's the least murdery person we know. But okay, let's say she did do it. What possible reason could she have for killing Dorota?
Psychopathic tendencies?
Maybe. Maybe Bronwyn and Dorota were secretly lovers, and Bronwyn found out that Dorota was seeing someone else and killed her in a jealous fit of rage. Or maybe that's just another one of your twisted late-night fantasies, in which case, leave me out of it.
And himself, that they were writing history here.
Have you met the new detective yet? We're basically under 24-hour surveillance now.
Do you think Sam's onto us?
Onto what exactly?
The real reason we're here.
Sam's not a mind reader. At least I don't think so. Just try not to let anything slip.
Morning of his 249th day on the moon. Here, Dimitri boarded the elevator to the excavation site, as he had been doing for the...
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
being paleontology, linguistics, and exobiology respectively.
You don't trust me, do you, Violet? Is it because I read tarot? Why don't you let me pull a card for you?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Did you sleep well last night?
Yes, thank you.
I didn't see you yesterday evening.
I stayed in my room. You can ask Lexi. That reminds me, I think I found a book of yours. It's called He Came Through the Shadows.
What makes you think it's mine?
Your name's written on the inside cover.
Neither could it have been man-made. The hole was drilled or otherwise created.
Mrs. Gallagher, an unexpected pleasure.
How long are you planning to be here?
In town? I really don't know. Until the tarot tells us to leave. Or you kick us out, obviously.
How did you know Dorota was going to die? Why?
Now that's a very good question. Logically speaking, you'd assume all three of us were in on it. Or none of us.
Fine there, if it did. Is it?
Hello, Violet. Is everything okay? Ignore the mess. I was just going to tidy it up.
Did you have a pleasant evening last night?
Great, thanks. The room's really lovely.
But you weren't in this room, were you?
Oh no, was I sleepwalking again? I haven't done that since... for ages. I didn't come into your room, did I?
No. Yes.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why I do that. It only seems to happen when there's a lot of bad energy floating around. Bronwyn says I just stand there and stare. I didn't catch you, not sleeping, did I?
Frustration with the project's slow progress and his eagerness for a breakthrough that prompted him to volunteer himself.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Performed the final check on the crane, which was normally used for lowering the much light.
Who knows whether you've made the right decision or not, Claude?
How's Bronwyn been?
overly nice. She's covering her tracks well if she has anything to hide.
What was it I asked you to do again?
You just told me to report back to you if I noticed anything suspicious. Good grief, Claude, you're a bit young to be losing your marbles already.
What were you doing last night?
Claude, we've been through this. I honestly don't remember. I checked my diary and there's no entry, so I was probably here, as always.
How can you not remember, Violet?
I don't know. Which is exactly what I said in my statement. Don't try and get me to contradict myself.
Still working, and to notify him of the depth of his descent.
Chief DuPont, what a pleasant surprise. I think we've covered just about everything twice over, but if you think I'm hiding something...
Who are you really, Bronwyn Castle?
Does it bother you, Chief DuPont, knowing there are things in this world that aren't black and white? You don't know what to file me under, and that makes you uncomfortable. Or perhaps you've already made up your mind about me. Why don't you tell me who you think I am?
You're a con artist.
I haven't asked anyone for a penny.
He simply wished to break the unsettling silence that commanded this deep...
Good evening, Chief DuPont.
Dorota's family, what does the tarot say about them?
I can do a reading, if you want.
Yes.
It's the Five of Cups. It talks about loss and dealing with that loss. I don't think you need a tarot reader to interpret that one.
Bronwyn ever been arrested?
Not since I've met her. She's a lawful good type character, if you play D&D.
Lexi ever been in trouble with the police?
No. Not to my knowledge. She's sweet and innocent. Or haven't you picked up on that yet?
His probes end up malfunctioning down here. It's too dark now to take a photo, but Dimitri reached into another pouch and carefully took out a pencil and a piece of paper.
Oh, Chief Inspector, you gave me a shock. What is it? What have I done?
Tell me about Bronwyn.
She's an Aquarius, her favourite colour is green. What else do you need to know?
Is she your leader? Has she killed before? Are you prepared to go to jail for her?
Jail? What for? I haven't done anything wrong.
Aiding and abetting a criminal.
I'll aid and abet Bronwyn to the day I die, but she's not a criminal.
Why are you here in August?
Well, it's not for the nightlife, I can tell you that. This is where the cards told us to go. I guess you could call it destiny.
Do you know anyone here? What's wrong with the nightlife?
There isn't any. And sometimes a girl needs a party.
What were you doing last night?
Nothing. I mean, I was here all night. The scouts on a Bron can vouch for me.
A panic. Finally, he felt the sweet release of slowly being lifted up towards the surface.
Hi, I'm Bronwyn. I'm Bronwyn.
Later that day, Dimitri returned to his private quarters and plumped down on the bed.
Is there something I can help with, Miss Castle?
I hope we're not being too much trouble.
It's very brave of you to tell the chief that Dorota would be murdered and then stick around afterwards. I'd have run for sure.
You strike me as someone braver than that. Why would I run?
You're prime suspect, aren't you? You look strong enough to strangle another woman. Even if you're innocent, a jury would probably convict you.
Even if I'm innocent? You look strong enough to strangle another woman too.
Well, if you can't pay for your rooms, you might just find out.
Or rather, something that approximated its meaning. Punishment for the...
Bron, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what exactly, but it's not right.
Thoughts on Dorota?
Well, it's hard to say with just one victim. Musical talent, red hair. If there's another, there will be a pattern. Do you think it's another right?
A right?
As in the same thing we were chasing after in Birmingham? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just have to try and stop it.
Stop it?
The Traveller? Dead girls? Ring any bells?
Traveller?
Bron, you're acting weird. Are you still you?
Of course.
Stop freaking me out. It's not cool in this current climate.
He stumbled out of bed, felt his bare feet touch the cold floor, and quickly...
Ron, are you okay?
I'm not okay. I'm okay.
Good. It's not our fault this stuff happens. We're just the messengers.
We've seen a lot of... stuff?
Are you asking me or telling me? Yes, we've seen a lot of stuff. You seem weird. Just go and regroup or something, then come back and make me feel better about myself.
But as he listened closer, he noticed another presence in the room. He... Reply. Without knowing what came over him, Dimitri yelled out in frustration and fear, "Me!" The breathing suddenly stopped and changed into a deeply...
It's 6 o'clock and you're listening to Radio August. Police investigating the murder of Dorota Shaw are appealing to the community to help catch her killer. The body of 21-year-old Miss Shaw, an accomplished cellist, was found in her home last night. Police are describing the murder as a violent and despicable act. Monroe?
It's just terrible. Meanwhile, out of respect for the victim and her family, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced shortly, so do stay tuned to Radio August for updates.
I heard Dorota Shaw was due to play this weekend.
At the Tulip Festival?
Indeed. I understand why they'd want to postpone it. Tonight the weather will be mostly dry and warm, but be on the lookout for dark clouds on the horizon, as there may be scattered showers. Best take an umbrella, Monroe, so you don't get wet.
I like getting wet. That's 6 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.